there's a lot of stuff that has been on my mind about this entire thing that once again supersedes the entire iPhone 15 overheating issue. So I want to first give credit to the sponsor of making this video possible, which is nobody. And I'm currently on vacation in Dubai, and I want to say that I am in an extreme condition where it is well above 100 degrees, and I've been putting these phones through their paces. These phones meaning the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the S23 Ultra. And I am pretty close to, there's basically an event going on. It's my mom's 60th birthday, and I've been calling constantly, video chats constantly, taking videos and photos nonstop in the heat. And I'm telling you from my own experience, I want to preference that, not once has this phone overheated. Not even the S23 Ultra either. And I want to show you guys something because I don't think people really know what overheating is. So let me call room service real quick. So I'm going to record a 4K 60 video, and on top of that, get this hair dryer and blast this thing. I want you to take a look at this screen. 1 minute, by the way. If you do not see this screen, your phone is not overheating. Now, some people are gonna say that this device is fake because they saw that screen, but I'm telling you that screen is normal. If you've left your phone in the car on a hot summer day and you try to use it, probably within like 5 minutes, it's gonna say, need to cool down, temperature's too hot. That screen is normal. That is not nothing fake, okay? You just wanna address that. Should you do that at home? Probably not, but I was just doing that to prove a point. So that is what overheating actually is, right? It gets to the point where the device or whatever it is so hot, and it's smart enough to know that, hey, whatever is going on, whether it's internal or external sources, I am getting too hot, and if it gets hotter, things are going to go bad. So let me just send some signals out to the computer, let it know to dial things back, and let's get cool, and then we can go back to doing what we're doing, right? It's the same thing for a car, right? If you're driving your car on, let's just say you're driving a car and there's like no coolant, it's going to get to the point where the car is like, hey, I can't go any further because it's getting really hot, so you probably should turn the car off or I'm going to stop the car for you. One of the two. Put some coolant in there and you're good. Right? Let's just take a break for like 5 minutes and then you can go back to what you're doing. Same thing for the phone. Same thing for like any other product if you think about it, right? There are preventative measures to prevent actual overheating. I'll leave it at that. Now, I don't want to call anyone out because that's not the importance of this video. I don't think that this is a one-person thing. I think this is a general thing that happens in the tech community. And as a small content creator like myself, I get it, right? We're already behind the pack when it comes to reviews and stuff like that, but I just can't co-sign when people make reviews in like 48 hours and like they're just like, you've used the product for 2 days. How do you know the product? That's like dating someone for 2 days and then getting married and like knowing everything about it and telling everyone in the world about them. It's like, I think people might be cleaning the window and they're coming down, but you don't really know the product, if I'm gonna be honest, right? Because here's what actually happens, right? They do a 48-hour review or 24-hour review, let you know about it, but there's like always some controversial take in it that they stick to. And then they do like a week review where they either double down or dial it back, pedal back on their original controversial take, and then they do like a 2-week, a month review, and it's just like, just do a 1-week review. I think that should be like the base minimum of a review because, once again, I get it. We're behind the curve, views are important, but long term, I think it's way more beneficial to just use the device, get your actual thoughts out, and then proceed from there, right? Because iOS 17 just dropped. new processor. Really, it's really just iOS 17, I would say, just dropped. And I don't think this is anything new. Like this happens every year. This happens on Android as well. Like whenever there is a major OS update, there's just a lot of unoptimized things that have happened. Mainly the apps, right? Like people are saying Instagram is really hot to use. Well, it's iOS 17. I won't say it's iOS 17, but you know, a lot of apps are unoptimized on the latest OS. So just wait like a couple weeks and I guarantee you that everything is probably going to be okay because going back to the reviews, right? Like these people, they're going to make a 48-hour review and then a month later they're going to be like, hey, this device is actually pretty good. They resolved all the problems. It's like, what problems? What? They're not actual problems. Like I said, it makes me laugh when I see that stuff because it's, I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but the only word that is coming into my mind is just attention seeking. Like people just want attention and they're desperate for it. And at what cost, right? Like for what? And this is probably why Apple doesn't really work with small content creators. And it's because Apple's marketing is so good that they could probably stop funding like all tech content, even the big tech content creators. MKBHD, Mr. Who's the Boss, Dave TD, Supersoft, the list goes on, right? They could get rid of everyone, not literally, figuratively, and they'd be fine. Their marketing is just that powerful. But they know that us small content creators, we're like feeding at the bottom of content for Apple products. And it's like, oh, there's this one controversial take. We got to take this to the moon, guys. This is gonna get us views, X, Y, and Z. And the reality is, it's like, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it because at that point, it's almost like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, where it's like any thing you notice in the iPhone, you just blow it out of proportion. And it's like, just a lot of people, ooh, I'm getting a lot of pain right here. A lot of people don't, it's not really an issue. You're just making it an issue. And this is where I think people just get trapped in their sphere. And if this is the only thing that they see in their sphere, meaning like their social media, whether it be Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, list goes on, right? You just see it constantly. You start to think that everyone else believes in it too. But you're in this small sphere when the earth, the place that we live on is massive with billions of people. And that your small sphere is like 1%. Hello? See, phone's getting put through its paces, right? I would say if I'm putting this phone through this condition, which is honestly probably not even that representative of how it is in the States, other than like the Southwest, where it's like the deserty area, you're gonna be fine, okay? And if you do suffer any type of overheating issues, or I should say, if you're uncomfortable with your phone being that hot, honestly, get the regular iPhone 15. If I'm being completely honest, you don't need a pro chip. You really don't. I haven't posted the video yet of like my day in a life using these phones, but I've come to the realization that I probably don't need a pro device anymore. Simply for the fact, I'll leave it for my review of the iPhone 15 series, but maybe the phone's not for you because the reality is when it comes to professional products, especially when it comes to hardware, the things get hot. Things get hot, but they are also able to withstand very high temperatures, not like a 2,000 watt hairdryer being blown directly on it. But if the phone is hot and it's still doing what it needs to do without lagging, stuff like that, it was made to do that. I should start a podcast, honestly, because I could talk about this topic for like hours. But I'm just going to leave it off there. Like I was saying before I leave off, I'm not defending Apple by any means, right? If your phone is actually overheating, maybe I'm going to bite my words and say, hey, maybe there is an issue with the iPhone 15 and it's having like dissipation issues. But for me, thinking about the average consumer, 99% of people are not going to have an overheating phone. It's just people yelling in their own sphere, thinking that they're the majority when it's actually the minority. So I'm gonna leave it off on there. Maybe I'll bite my words. Maybe I'll get a whole bunch of unsubs from this video, but that's genuinely how I feel on the situation. So I appreciate every single sub, like, and comment. Shout out for the sponsor for keeping the channel alive, Nobody. And as always, guys, much love. I got things to attend to, so yeah, I'm out.